Welcome back. We back for the Swift Racing League Eastern American Open. This is the first race of the season 3. Man, I was excited about this race. I just finished this race. I thought I'd go ahead and get everything done and post the video tonight so it'll be up Wednesday. I want to say thank you to everybody who subscribes to me. Hey, let's help get my subscribership up to 200. Hey, let's shoot for that. That's a goal we shoot for by June. And also, if you would like, help me get as many likes as I do views. The likes are what really moves it up through the thing so more people can see me, through the algorithm, so more people can see me. So I want to ask that you, hey, keep up the likes for me. I did this race tonight. I did it with the Z Suns, so you'll see the logo somewhere. It's one of these two sides. You know me. I move it around a lot. I'm getting close to getting me another mic so I can have it right in front of me so my voice won't go in and out. I'm sorry about that. Lately, I have a pretty good Sony camera, but I'm gonna get a new mic so I can actually plug it in and actually be able to talk and y'all can actually hear me. I want to also say thank you to my team that raced with me. This was an exciting race. I was looking forward to it. I didn't race yesterday, and I came in today and I did my hydro, which I posted on here, and I did my hydro and I did my stretching before I got to it. I do about an hour before I get ready to race so my body be nice and loose and get a chance to cool down. And I got on here and it was fun. So let's get into the race right now. We're at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're off. And as we take off, I only sped it up like double time because it's about a 30-minute race, so I cut it down to about 15 minutes. So as you see, I didn't jump out in front of the pack. My goal was not to get in front of the pack, but my goal was, if you notice that the speed comes up, I try to keep this thing at about 23 kilometers, 23 miles an hour, which is right about 38 kilometers an hour. And what I was trying to do as I was doing that was, there's a climb in the middle of this, which everybody's been talking about. I can do the climb. The climb is not the problem. What I would have been was, if everybody was fresh going into the climb, it would have been a problem for me because they would have probably pulled away pretty easy. So what my goal was is to keep the speed up. I kept an eye on there. If you notice, you got the heart rates right now. So I tried to keep the eye on the heart rates of everybody around me. I knew that for me, 150, 160 now, 155, 160 is a good racing where I can pull through that and I'm pretty fine. Which really helped me notice that was this weekend when I did Saturday, when I did them 6 races on Saturday, my heart rate kind of stayed in the 150s and I noticed that I was doing fine. Now, it used to be when I got up to 160s, 155, 160, I was kind of tired. But now, I guess I've been racing so much, it kind of helped me out. So what I tried to do was keep it now. The first part is flat, so I know, flat is fast for me. So I tried to keep it up 25 miles an hour. What I was trying to do was not completely tire people out behind me. What I was trying to do is keep them at a certain point where, if I looked at it in heart rates, I was trying to keep it up about 150, 160 with me, so that when we hit the hill, they didn't pull away from me. So my goal was to keep them from pulling away from me. So I did what I could do was to keep the heart rate up. And as you see, I was out lead. Now I was taking a risk because I could have tired myself out, but I knew this was a 12-mile run, which is not hard for me. I usually peak at about, when I'm racing, about 22, 23 miles. So this was like half of what I needed where I wasn't gonna lose anything on this race. So all I needed to do was just keep the speed up. Now, the funniest thing in the world, which I'm gonna let y'all know, when I had a bad habit creep into this race today. You see the arrow helmet? I'm supposed to hit it at the end of the race. I never touched it. That arrow, that big blue helmet gonna be there the whole time. And I was like, I'm gonna hit it at the end. I never touched the arrow helmet. I mean, I didn't need it at the end, but I never touched it. So as we were riding, you can see that I'm riding along with everybody, and I got somebody in front of me. I can't see his name. I think it's Mike Race. What is it? Race? I want to say M Racing. That was his name on the screen. So I'm racing him, and I'm looking at him, and it's a KB guy come up on me a whole bunch of times. And what I was trying to do, like I said, when we hit the flats, there go one of my teammates right there next to me. And I was trying to stick on, but my goal was, I'm sorry, my goal was to keep this thing at about 24, 25 miles an hour till we hit the mountain. That was my whole goal. My whole game plan coming into this thing. Hey, look, teammates, I'm sorry, but I wanted to win this thing, especially within this, I'm going to call this win January, because I've been winning a lot of things, that Success January, where I want to call it. because I've been doing pretty good. This has been one of my best months on Swift. And so what I was trying to do is just keep it, even though I let him catch up to me. You got up to me while we were going 24 miles an hour. It was fine. That's 38 kilometers, 39 kilometers an hour. So what I was doing is, as long as you was up with me riding at that speed, it was totally fine. I just wanted to make sure that we stayed at that speed. So if you got in front of me and I can get a draft off you, I would. I was trying to scoot back into the line and get behind people. You see that, I could get it back in the line. And I'm riding the track. Now, I know a little hill coming up right here, so my goal was I had to put a little bit more power and pedal a little harder, but I knew that if I kept up with them and didn't let nobody get away from me, the big kicker was going to be, if I can keep up with you, I've been saying this for the longest, if I can keep up with you going up the hill, if we got over the hill, I knew I could put distance in because my weight would kick in then. So my whole goal was to get up the hill, and once I'm up the hill, I was going to go ahead and get to the other side, and I put power in before we crest. So I've been watching this thing. I've watched like 4 videos. Peter, I watched your video, man. Great job. He spotted the NTS 3s. He won earlier today. So, and I had a standard to stand up to, because I couldn't let you just go out here and win, man, and I'm not winning. So when we came up on this, I was looking at it, I said, okay, cool. What I'm going to do is just keep everybody, if you notice, the heart rates are pretty high. So I figured they was going to tire off on the climb. All I had to do is get through the climb. If I get through the climb on the other side of the hill, I was going to be able to I watched Peter do it. And when he came down on the side of the hill, it was a 3% climb. And then it went into a steep, I want to say it was a steep, 6 to 7% climb. I knew if I could hit that 7% climb, I knew I could get up to about 80 kilometers at minimum coming down that hill. And I knew that was going to be good enough to hit me on them flats and just keep riding. So as we coming around, I look up, I'm saying, okay, cool. I'm watching where we're at. We're 6.5 kilometers in, and I'm still got us, in fact, we're on a little decline, so I got us up to 27 miles an hour. So what I was doing was keeping everybody pushing. That was my whole goal, keep everybody pushing behind me. I was gonna make sure, because nobody wanted me to break away. Now, I know a lot of people was thinking, well, we'll get him on the hill, but I've been doing so many hills. I'm almost to my Tron bike. I'm about 15,000 feet, probably about one more climb up out the Mount Swiss, and I can have it. So I'm gonna have it within the next month. So as we're riding, I come on through and I say, okay, cool. I know what's coming up. I'm looking at what I'm doing is constantly looking at 7.6 kilometers. I know it's at 8.8. Was it 8.8? I think it's 8.8. The hill starts. And when that hill starts, that's going to be a 10%er, and then you're going to make a turn, and then you're going to hit a 13 or 14%er there. And then once you hit that 13 or 14%er, everything kind of backs off. The most you hit again is, I think, like an 8%er. But with me racing so much, like this makes race number 100, and I want to say about 88. I started racing in July with June 29th. So I've only been racing like 7 months, and I already got 108. I'm almost at 200 races. And so I knew, okay, cool. Once we get through the gravel, I knew the gravel was flat, so I didn't worry about that. I knew there was going to be the bridge. Once we hit this bridge, I knew, okay, cool. At 8.8, the hills for the start. Now, it really started right at here, 8.6, 8.7. But I'm talking about the steep climb where I was going to lose a lot of speed. So what I decided to do was maintain my speed, and I sped up until I put a little power in it. Now I knew I was going to put a lot of power in coming up this hill. So I just put it in, I braced myself, and I just started riding. And I said, what I'm going to do is just get through this first half, get up this little hill. And I knew exactly where. I knew that at 12.7, I needed to power up again going down the hill so I can get my speed up. So what I did was, okay, you remember I kept everybody's speed up coming into this. Now everybody's heart rate is high. In fact, RG, you see right there above the green light, his heart rate is 194. So I kept everybody's heart rate up. My whole goal was to do that. I'm sorry for my team. I promise you, I just wanted to, that was the only way I saw that I was going to win this race, was to keep everybody moving fast throughout the whole thing, so that when we hit the hill, we all hit the hill with everybody's elevated heart rate. So that's what I was thinking to myself. If I could do that, that makes it so that it's harder to spread out. And I know that you know, I'm doing my 100-mile ride. I'm doing at least one of those a month. I do a 62-mile, which is 100-kilometer once a month. I'm doing a 50-kilometer every month. And then I do all the other races. I'm doing about, estimated about 20 races a month, 25 races a month. This goal for the year is 250 races this year. So as I'm riding, I look at it and I go, okay, cool. We got through both of those. So now that we through both of those, then we got through both of those. Now that we through both of them, you have this 8% here, and we're coming up on this bridge now. If you don't get it now, I'm actually in my head, I gotta admit, right now, if you look at me, I don't look because I'm actually smiling in my head. I am cheering now because there's nowhere else you can leave me now. So that's what I was thinking to myself. There's nowhere else nobody can leave me. Now y'all in trouble. That's what I'm thinking in my head. I'm truly thinking that in my head. Y'all in trouble now because you let me stick with y'all up this hill. On the backside of the hill, there's nobody else on here that's going to keep up with me going down this hill. The only people that I've seen that can actually keep up with me going down the hill would probably be, I don't know how he does it, BB does it, and Roland. He does it real good. Now I know Roland trainer, I think, is messing up on it, so he hasn't raced in a minute. Hey Roland, man, I wish I had a trainer to send to you, man. I really do. I wish I had an extra set of pedals to send to you. That would have been nice. But hey, I ain't sponsored by nobody. Maybe one day that will happen. I don't know. I'm not looking for it. I just do this so to encourage people to lose weight. So as I'm attacking this thing, I'm coming up on 10 kilometers, 10.5 kilometers. Now I know I'm at 12.7 kilometers. And that's why I have the kilometer mileage on there where my name is in blue. I'm constantly looking at it. I know at 12.7 kilometers, I'm going to power myself into that drop. I want to go into that drop and a super tough. I want to hit that drop almost immediately going into a super tough. That's where I get to stop pedaling everything. I just get to ride out. So I can run myself hot. And the other thing is, I know I can run myself tired here. My heart rate comes down real fast. I've gotten really good at bringing my heart rate back down. At 160, once I get to the bottom of that super tuck lane, that thing's gonna be like 140. It comes down real fast now. I've gotten real good at exercising a lot. I do a lot of rolling, which is really good for your heart. And so I'm getting very good at relaxing myself back down. So as we come through here, you see we're 11.5, 11.6, and I'm going, okay, cool. I look down, and I got like 7 seconds, and I figured that that he had gotten tired. I was looking at it, I'm going, okay, maybe he's gotten a little tired. Now, the one thing I got to do with the list up here, I got to get it set so that it's always in the way that who's first through down last. So I would do that on the red side where you see my name in blue. But I knew right here we were coming up on 12, and so what I was doing was I was still trying to keep it at 23 miles an hour. It's only 2 and 1% flex up there. You drop it to a 3% here and there. But I figure if I can keep it up at 22, 23 miles an hour, I can start putting distance in. As you notice, I'm starting to put the distance in. And then, I look at the heart rate. Now you look at my heart rate, I'm 165, I'm cool. Because I know that I got the drop coming up and I'll be able to rest in. So I just force myself through this. Now 165 is not bad for me. I think my number now is about 170. That's when I start to really worry about me pushing myself. And I can push it since this is only about half of what my peak, where I started to kind of come down, I'm fine. So as we come up on here, I should have hit my helmet there. It didn't matter with me at the end. So you see me powering up. You see me power up, come over that hill. And as we come down that 7%, that 3%, now I get to relax and I just stop pedaling. And I'm in super tough. And that's all it took. That right there ended the race. That's all I needed was to end the race. Now I knew that once we came out of this super tough, there was gonna be one more turn. And I wanted to get this thing up to over 80 kilometers. With an 80-kilometer run, I was gonna leave everybody. Now you look at my speed right there, the kilometers right there, my blue is 59. And I'm riding, and everybody else, they haven't really gotten to the hill. I think the RG just finally got to the hill. He's at 57, 58 kilometers. I'm still at 59, and I'm still ahead of what everybody else doing. You got some of them at 56 now. And now you see I power up again to get it up to 50 miles an hour. Now here go where I knew it's 8. And I got that thing up to 76 kilometers, 77 kilometers. Here it is coming up on 81 kilometers, 82 kilometers, 83, it's at 85 kilometers. I've maxed out at 85 kilometers coming down that hill. I knew I had a bit. I knew I had it. I had it. There was no way of catching me now. And all I had to do then was back out a little bit. It's like putting low gear, high gear in, so you just kind of keep the speed up. And I just decided to keep my speed up. From here on out was just high gear and running and just keep my speed up. And that's what I was doing. And it was man, I tell you what, from here on out, it was just mostly me now. I think I started actually putting distance in because I kept looking back at the, like I told you, I look at the signs right there on the side. I see somebody at 69, and I knew that was probably no, that wasn't the M Rider. I don't think that was him, but that was somebody else coming down the hill. But as they come to the bottom hill, I kept my speed because I knew those high numbers, like somebody above me, SH, he had 70 kilometers. I knew he was coming down the hill. But when he got to the bottom of the hill, since he's a lighter guy, he was going to put power in to catch me. So I knew that now I'm when it goes like here and it's only showing my blue T, I know right then I got about a 20-second lead start on everyone. So when it opens back up, I think it shows like 27 seconds, and we're down to 1.5 miles. And right now I knew that all I needed to do was just maintain the speed I had. I could have hit the helmet here. I totally forgot about that helmet. I was excited about this race. Happy to get into this thing, and I just knew there was certain ways I had to run this race. As a big guy, you have to figure out which way to run. I watched this race about 6 times today before I took a nap. I came home from work. I knew I was gonna be off early. I took about an hour and I just sped up through like 4 people race. Pedal, I watched your race like 4 times. Man, I need to put a couple more lights on that thing. I knew exactly where everything was in this race. So I watched your race the whole time. I just kept watching it over and over, knowing where to attack at. Now, once I got over there and I hit that 80 kilometers, I knew if I could hit 80 kilometers, it was gonna be enough that when I hit the flats, that was gonna be it. And I knew that there was gonna be only one left climb right there about 8%, at about 17 and 18 kilometers. And that's where it was, that look coming out that tunnel. Then I knew it was gonna be a slight decline and the rest of the race was mine. So I just kind of eased up on here and I just slowly came through the end. It wasn't, I want to thank everybody for watching this race with me. Thank everybody supporting me. The one thing you have to remember when you're racing these races, you got to remember where to attack. The good thing of knowing the course, I did not ride the course, but I watched so many people do the course that I had a mental note of where everything was in this race. I knew where everywhere was going to be. I knew when to attack. I knew how to attack. That's what I love about this, is that when you get a chance to see what's going on, it's a lot easier to figure out what to do and how to win this race. So thank y'all for watching me. Thank y'all for subscribing to me. I would like for y'all, if you could, please put as many likes as you do views. So every time you view it, so put a like on that. Thank y'all for that. Thank y'all for racing. Thanks to Z Sons for having me on this race. Thank you, Petter, for letting me put your video out there so I can see what's going on. With all of that, y'all stay warm in this cold weather out here. Y'all relax. Y'all have a good time. I want y'all to enjoy yourselves. And with all of that, I would like y'all to ride on.